So in this video, we're going to read the shopping list data back into the program and display it at the console. Just a point I need to make first. Let me minimize this. This is the project folder on the desktop. I'm going to drill down into the where the code file is. The code file is actually this one. I know I have lots and lots of code files for all the demos in this unit, but the point is your code file has got to be in the same folder as the data file. This is a data file that was generated in the last video with the 3 items that I need to buy. So they need to be in the same folder, basically, when it comes down to it. Otherwise, your program's going to run, it's going to look for this text file. It's not going to find it if that text file is not in the same folder. So let's go ahead and look at the code. We have a string to receive the item. Now in this case, like in the last program, the user was inputting the items. In this case, the input is coming from the file, all right? So I have a stream object, in this case an input stream object, a file stream object. Again, just like in the last program, you have to make sure you include fstream up at the top if you want to use these objects. But in any case, I'm calling this input file. I can name it anything I want, but that's the name I chose, something nice and descriptive. I'm going to open the file object for input, and I'm providing the name of that file. And you have to type it perfectly. Okay, it's probably not case sensitive, but everything else has got to be perfect. And again, that text file has got to be in the same folder as the code file in order for your code to find that file. So there it is. And now, basically, now that the file is open and ready for input, we're just going to loop through it and get the items in and output the items to the console with a regular cout like we were using the first week of class. But here is where we need some explaining here. I'm using getLine because, there are spaces in the input. GetLine isn't just for console input, okay? You can use it for file input. Normally we use getLine with cin, but cin is not in the picture here. The user's not entering anything from the keyboard. The input is coming from the input file, okay? And it's going into the item variable, which is the string variable that I created up at the top just to receive that item. Now here's the catch. This getLine function is going to return a true if there's still data, more data to be read. And eventually it gets to the end of the file and it will return a false, meaning there's no more data left to be read. So this is a really convenient way to set up our loop. We're saying while this is true, while there's more data to be read, just keep looping, keep getting the items, keep bringing them in and printing them to the console. So, I mean, you can think of it like this is really what's going on here, but this would be redundant. You get a true or a false regardless. My compiler is complaining about that anyway. But so you get a true when there's more data, and then eventually it becomes false because you've reached the end of the file, and then your loop stops. Okay, and then finally, you want to clean up after yourself and close up that input file object when you're done. So I'll go ahead and run the program. And there's the shopping list of the 3 items that were imported from the file.